You're watching the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey, and we're answering all of your questions live here on the Cowboys Report, whether it's via Super Chat, general question, or Super Thanks. Many of those came in. Truman Guy just had a $2 Super Thanks that said, thanks. I appreciate that, Truman Guy. Very kind of you. If you don't know what Super Thanks is, allow me, give me a chance to explain it here for you guys. It's a new-ish feature on YouTube. You can donate outside of the live videos as opposed to only being able to Super Chat. Click the thanks icon. You can edit your message. Any Super Thanks that we get in, we will give you guys a shout-out because we appreciate your support here on the Cowboys Report. From Rockhard Wallace, love the show, watch daily. He actually skipped one, by the way, there, Jeremy. But the time to dodge attack is no better than a can of beans in a pretty dress. How do we get a better QB? Are we forever bound to this? What was the rest of that comment? It was, I'll pull it up here. It got cut off. Bound to the scrub lord, he called them. First off, I've never heard the phrase can of beans in a pretty dress. It's a unique burn, Rockhard Wallace, and I will give you credit for coming up with it. No, of course, you're not tied to him forever. That's not how any of this tends to work. But he is, I don't know what the NFL comparison for a can of beans and a pretty dress is, but I feel like he's better than that. No, Tua, I think, is better than that, too. I don't know who it is. I don't know. Tyrod Taylor? No, Lawrence's long hair. It's a dress. Kind of works there, Jeremy. Either way, bring back this question. Rank Dak Prescott for me among all NFL quarterbacks. Let me know in the comment section right now. He's not 1. He's not 5. He's not 25 either. Drop it in the comment section. Rank Dak for me among all NFL QBs. Tyler Parrott, $2. I'll take OBJ, but I really wanted a proven receiver with no injury or character concerns who can play for the cost of about a third-round draft pick. Jerry now only shops in the bargain barrel. I'm not sure if the third-round pick comment was meant more for Jalen Tolbert. He's bad right now. That's a real concern because I liked him at South Alabama. He's overwhelmed right now as a rookie. He's just not ready, plain and simple. Was a trade for Brandon Cooks or whoever, that'd have been nice too. You need receiver help. I would be all for going out and acquiring Odell Beckham at this point. We will see, however, what the Cowboys choose to do as we move forward. Andrew Summers, the defense doesn't help when they have a QB2, or doesn't need help when they have a QB2 as talented as Jeremy Chuggs. We're thinking about putting Sheffield at cornerback too. So this is a dig at both Jeremy and Anthony Brown / Kelvin Joseph. I'm not playing Kendall Sheffield at cornerback too. I'd rather see what Nashawn Wright can do. In general, the guy who was cut by a bad team is not your answer in November who's under practice right now. So he might be a game day call-up this week because of injuries if Anthony Brown can't go, but I'm not starting Sheffield. All right, Andrew Vanderpool. I know it's one game, but even through this, I still want Mike fired after the year. You have a chance for Sean Payton, who Jerry loves. Why keep this puppet of a coach? I don't even know if he's a puppet, quite frankly. But if Mike can't win a playoff game, he's got to go. Mike McCarthy's a better coach than Jason Garrett. I don't even know if I would call Mike a bad head coach, but I don't think I would. I think I'd call him a good head coach. But you are in a spot where you can win football games here. You've got to have a very good or great head coach, whether that's Sean Payton, Dan Quinn, or even just do a search for the first time in a decade and a half. You got to actually try to upgrade if Mike cannot win a playoff game this year. In the end, that's coaching. Casual Campbell, am I wrong to say I don't trust Kelvin to start? We can try Israel Mukuamu as cornerback too. I get your concerns over Kelvin Joseph. They've moved Mukuamu to safety full-time. He might be your emergency outside corner. Maybe you activate Marquise Bell to have that extra safety in there too. They're going to give it to Kelvin Joseph. And I understand why. They've invested more in him. There's more upside. I am also worried about Kelvin Joseph. I get where you're coming from there. Matt Berrigan, I'm sorry for seeing Deron Bland last night. I already missed Jordan Lewis. Deron Bland did not have a good showing. Dalton Schultz made some interesting comments about how if players fell down, they weren't wearing the correct cleats. Deron Bland fell down on a touchdown play. Don't like seeing that very much. There's maybe some issues there for the Cowboys. But yeah, Bland did not play great. He's got more time to get it figured out, though. Today's Cowboys Report is sponsored by Established Titles. Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. It's a project based on the historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. Title packs give at least 1 square foot dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Scotland and an official certificate with a crest. We plant a tree with every order and work with global charities One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future to support global reforestation efforts. You could officially include the title Lord or Lady on your credit card, plane tickets, dating profile, etc. It makes a great last-minute gift. The first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot, within a few minutes of walking distance. Depending on how you want to become a lord or a lady, we can build our own little Cowboys Report kingdom. It makes an amazing last-minute gift. And Established Titles is actually running a massive early Black Friday sale right now. Discounts up to 80% off. And if you use code CHAT, that's C-H-A-T, you get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/ to get your gifts now. Help support the channel. Here's my plaque. I am now Lord Tom Downey. We've got Jester Jeremy and what's the other one you wanted to go with there? Squire Chugs. Those are his nicknames out there. You can become a lord or a lady today as well. 10% off when you use promo code CHAT at establishedtitles.com/chat. Grant Procopus, not sure how to pronounce the last name there. He had a $2 super chat. We did slap Jeremy earlier, and so did Slim Tim Shady for a $1 super chat as well. Tristan Brown, 100-yard games this year from Pollard. 3. Zeke. 0. It is very clear to me if you want to have the better offensive attack, and the last 2 games you've dropped, 49 and 28. That's great offensive output despite some issues in the last game. Give the ball to Pollard. Marcus Arnold, play calling is the issue. Zeke is avoiding the first defender as he's receiving the handoff half the time. Teams still fear him. I promise you, they fear Pollard more than Zeke right now. Now, Zeke can still help have some success on the ground, but to be clear, Pollard's better right now. And yeah, the O-line has had some problems, and I agree with the play calling. I thought the Packers play call, bad. Abjay Parwar, why didn't the Cowboys use Turpin in their offense yesterday? They would have been more explosive. I really thought they would find something else for Turpin on offense, and they're like, no, not this week. He's tiny, he's small. They view him as a package player. I'm asking one time, run a screen, run a jet touch pass. He's so fast, and when you add the Hail Mary play, you're like, oh, let's get it to Turpin. If that's your go-to guy for your Hail Mary play at the end of a half, maybe he should be a part of your offense. So figure it out. 2 touches a game on offense is all I'm asking for Turpin. Figure it out. D4K today, not having J. Lou hurts our defense. Bland did not play great. I don't think Lewis has played great either, but you at least missed the veteran. Byron Joe David, you don't need to throw the ball 50 times to win, just run the football. I was confused they threw it so much in that game. By the way, the 14-point lead, the defense immediately gave it up, so it's not accurate. Don't listen to those stats out there. But Pollard ran the ball great. Malik Davis ran it pretty well. And I think for me, the play calling issue is encapsulated in the 3rd and 4 overtime play call. You run the slant to land. There's no PI call. That's fine. I get it. But then you go for it on 4th and 4. So if you were going to go for it the whole time, run the read option there. You've got 2 chances to get 4 yards. If you're gonna go for it no matter what, run the football. Do your good play calls. Take it out of the ref's hands a little bit there. Not unless you with your 4th down play call, though you had 1 guy at the sticks. You had a lot of guys downfield, and your offensive line collapsed on that play. That was a disaster. So there are issues with the game planning, I promise you. Slimex Walker, should Dallas bench Dalton Schultz? No. Now, long-term, different conversation, but right now, no. You don't need to bench Dalton Schultz. He's your best tight end. It's fine to be excited about the future of Jake Ferguson, Peyton Hendershot. Those guys have been fine, although Hendershot's been a penalty machine for you, by the way. Neither guy's been that great as a blocker. Schultz is better right now. He absolutely is. Now, long-term, I don't know if I want to pay Dalton Schultz $10, $11, $12, $13, whatever it costs, $1 million. With that in mind, do you want to re-sign Schultz long-term? Y for yes, N for no. You can sound off for me in the comment section. Do you want to re-sign Dalton Schultz long term? Marcus Arnold, Cole Beasley, no. A, he's a slot-only receiver. I don't need that on this Cowboys team. He's old. Also, Jeremy says anti-vaxxer, which, like, it was an issue for the Cowboys and Amari Cooper. I would argue that Cole Beasley defending Kyrie Irving is probably a bigger problem right now, and that maybe you don't need that guy in your locker room. Cole retired. He can stay retired. From Mark, Dak's pattern for years, blow out poor teams, and then has a tendency to play 2 good quarters, disappear for 2 quarters. Can't beat good teams like this. The Packers are not a good football team, though. So there you go. Jeremy says he can't beat bad football teams. Packers are not a good football team. It's the Aaron Rodgers mental block that exists for this team. I actually say 2 good quarters, 2 bad quarters, probably pretty accurate for how Dak played in that game, but that they're not a good team. In the end, you needed Dak to play better, make no mistake. But if I had told every person watching, Cowboys have a 14-point lead, they're up 28-14 to begin the 4th quarter. You're like, they're going to win. And then they didn't. I think that's a defensive coaching issue more than it is your quarterback. But it's the quarterback. He gets the credit to blame way too much on both sides. Roger Moore, the eye test says Zeke, the Cowboys missed Zeke picking up the blitz and picking up the short yardage plays. Anthony Barr too. They didn't miss Zeke picking up the blitz. That final play, that 4th down, which I think is what you're referring to here, that 4th down play in overtime wasn't a blitz. It's that McGovern and Smith and Steele all got beat to shit and Dak had no chance. They didn't really miss the blitz that much there. The short yardage plays, Pollard has been just as effective in short yardage this year, and in fact, slightly more so than Ezekiel Elliott. Anthony Barr, maybe. But you played Micah and LVE at linebacker pretty much all game long. Devon Clark at 7 snaps. It's an issue. Help us continue to grow. The Cowboys Report. We passed the 140,000 mark. Thank you all so much. 141 coming up next here. Free videos every single day when you guys subscribe to us here at the Cowboys Report. Ian Cardis, trade Dak, fire Kellen, draft a young guy for a big Mike, Sean Payton, losing the 1st round again. I did say I would try to be nice in the mailbag, so I'll keep that in mind. I'm fine firing Kellen. He can't design a good ground game or consistent ground game, I should say. But if you're drafting late round 1, I don't know if the young guy you draft is going to be your solution there. James Gutierrez, OBJ wants $20 million. Fine. 4 years, 80. Sign him. I know OBJ wants 20. That was the report from Schefter. I don't see him getting $20 million. Maybe they do like a option after this year of like you get $2 million the rest of the way this year, maybe $1 million, which is a highly still prorated amount for a month of football basically. And then they figure it out back into the year, and there's an option. He gets some guaranteed money no matter what. If they pick up the option, he gets like $17 million per year, but he's not going to get $480 coming off another ACL. He's just not. From Al, where is Kevontae Turpin on offense? Not out there. Look, he's a package player. He's tiny. He's small. The Cowboys do not trust him as a full-time receiver, and that's fine. But get the packages for him in there. Run a screen one time. Run the jet touch pass. He's got 4 touches all year long. But they gotta figure it out. He played like what? 1 snap on the. Actually, I saw him out there for another play where he just ran a go route to bring some speed on the field. Like Turpin is not their savior at receiver, but get him involved a little bit is all I'm asking for. Even just like 5 touches a game, including teams like 2 on offense. That's all I want. Do you think the Cowboys need another wide receiver? Let me know. 1 for yes, 0 for no in the comment section. El Tino, why didn't Clark play more? They tried to put Micah at off-ball linebacker in an effort to make their run stopping better. Did not work. Did not work at all. Last one here, this time around from TKG. I think we finally win on Thanksgiving. And what is our Thanksgiving Day record after losing year after year? I'll pull up their Thanksgiving Day record. But historically, they've not been nearly as good as they should be. I am very tired of them losing on Thanksgiving. They are 31-22-1, but it's the recent record that has been not as good for the Cowboys. They lost in 2021, in 2020, in 2019. They won in 2018, lost in 2017, won in 2016, losses 2015, 2014. They've had issues. I would like to not have my Thanksgiving and birthday ruined again this year. Just my thoughts. If you didn't get to your question, blame producer Chugs. DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney with any and all Cowboys questions that you guys have. My DMs are open. Just give me some time to respond to it.